And now I'd like to call up once again President Henault as our guest speaker.
Thank you. Friends, classmates, peers. When we first walked into these halls freshman year, things were different. We feared and loved this school as we tried to find our niche and learn to manage the schoolwork. During this time period, we were somewhat jealous of the sophomores. We were jealous because they had things figured out. They had survived freshman year. We studied late, we made new friends, and after 2 very long semesters, we found ourselves to be the sophomores we once revered. Sophomore year, sure, we were proud of all ourselves. Yet once again, we couldn't help but look up, this time at the upperclassmen, and admire them. They were the leaders of the school, the varsity athletes, the ones with college plans, the ones who in so many ways were becoming adults. We idolized this. We set our sights. We worked harder than anyone else because we wanted to become Spalding's finest, to be the upperclassmen we so respected. For that very reason, tonight is a special night. It is the night when every student in this room can stop and be proud of what they've become. We are the upperclassmen that we admired. I know how easy it is to look forward at senior year or at even college and forget about the now. But that is not what tonight is for. Tonight, we are here to pay respects for everything we have accomplished because we have worked hard, and to acknowledge that we are the leaders of Archbishop Spalding High School. 2 weeks ago, I was prompted to deliver this speech on leadership, service, character, and scholarship. And so I sat down and I began to think of ways to teach this group of students about how to be effective leaders. Very quickly, it became apparent to me that trying to teach you all how to be like leaders is like trying to teach a fisherman how to fish. It is a task that has been ingrained in every one of you long before tonight. Every student in this room was chosen to be a part of the National Honor Society because we already are leaders. We already are the model Spalding students. We already are the people that our peers turn to for guidance. I understand how easy it is to forget that, to forget our own accomplishments, and instead look at the achievements of other members of the NHS. Catherine Thomas, for example, a senior, is already the founder and owner of a small printing business at age 18. Ronan O'Shea recently won the President's Volunteer Service Award for his research on, and I quote, a robot-assisted neurorehabilitation for stroke victims with lower extremity paralysis. Michael Scotland created a sports ministry camp in the Dominican Republic this year on a mission trip. Our NHS body is comprised of exhibited artists, women's national ice hockey players, NSA interns, Eagle Scouts, and the captain of almost every sport on campus. And so we see all of this achievement, and it is very easy to become discouraged, to say, if I am not the captain of a sports team or the president of a club, I am not a leader. This misconception about what leadership is, the misconception that leadership comes exclusively from awards and titles, is the reason I am here in front of you tonight. Tonight, you are all asked to reconsider what makes a true leader. One of the greatest conquerors of all time, Alexander the Great, was famous for charging into battle on the front line and fighting fearlessly, side by side with his people. This is true leadership, being able to get your hands dirty and contribute directly. True leadership is knowing what you want from your followers and embodying that role, modeling that role. It doesn't come from a microphone, title, or suit. You cannot tell someone, I am your leader. You must show them, I am your leader. You must inspire them to follow you. It doesn't begin and end. It is an everyday commitment to always be the first into battle, to always be the student who takes control in a group project, to never be afraid to tell your friends to stop talking during class, to be fearless about your faith, and to keep working, to keep studying when everyone else has quit. That is what we stand for as an NHS, to live by a mentality that we are defined not only by individual acts of great leadership, but by everyday acts that inspire. This is how we make our presence known throughout our school and throughout our nation. Collectively, we are the sharpest minds, strongest wills, and largest hearts you will ever see. And when all of that comes together, greatness happens. The National Honor Society is founded on 4 main pillars. They are the characteristics by which our members are defined. leadership, character, scholarship, and service. And when I talk about these traits, I always give a great deal of attention on leadership, because I believe that a strong foundation of leadership will permeate into all aspects of life, into the other three pillars. With understanding of leadership in its everyday form, we can begin to comprehend our call to the second pillar, service. Here at Spalding, we have a 60-hour service requirement. And sometimes you'll hear students complaining about that. They say, I don't like service. I find service boring. And this is always confusing to me. Saying you don't like service is like saying you don't like food. If you had one bad experience with lasagna, you wouldn't just say you don't like food anymore. You would move on and try something else. Nobody likes every single food concoction globally, but everyone enjoys something. In the same way, never discount the idea of volunteer work as a whole, because you did not like a single event. If you worked at a food bank and it wasn't your forte, try reading to the youth. If that isn't fun, spend a day with Habitat for Humanity. There are so many opportunities to help others selflessly. And once you find one that you feel passionate about, once you find one that sets your heart on fire, you will not stop helping when you hit 60 hours, 100 hours, 200 hours. Because when you can do what you love and help others at the same time, hours on a sheet will pale in comparison to the feeling in your heart. Tristan Mose, a senior, has over 3,000 service hours. That's 3 zeros. Because almost every day after school, on the weekends, in the summer, on school break, he is at Maryland Therapeutic Riding Center, helping the emotionally, mentally, and physically disabled. This is the ultimate example of someone who has found a passion within themselves and has exposed that in a way that can help others. To reach this point where service is a passive element of life, something that we can just do because it is natural to us. That is the goal of the second pillar. The third pillar, scholarship. Scholarship is a commitment to learning, but it translates to so much more than that. The student body at Archbishop Spalding represents the cream of the crop. We have higher test scores and better college placement than nearly any school around. And in being surrounded by such brilliant minds every day at school, one of the most beautiful things to me is that I witnessed a true intellectual curiosity, a very genuine urge to learn, to know more. Claire Eckhart, a brilliant young woman, a senior here, spent her summer becoming fluent in Arabic just because the opportunity presented itself. Anthony Campitelli, a senior, thrived in AP Economics and wanted to take his studies further, so he emptied his savings account and began trading stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. Risky? Yes. But the principle of taking curiosity and really acting on it is invaluable. The fourth pillar, character. It is a pillar totally unique from the other three. Your service of others is witnessed by the recipients. Your leadership is observed by those who follow you. Your scholarship is judged by what you put out with your knowledge. But character is completely internal. When we think of character, we often think of doing good things, being respectful, being polite, etc. But really, the outward actions are only a manifestation of your internal character. Your character is confined to the thoughts and morals that you have. There are 7 billion people in this world, and everyone is their own character. Everyone has their own character. The most important rule of character is to act on good character when you have the opportunity. I could not cite a specific student in the National Honor Society for stellar character, because really a member wouldn't be inducted if they weren't of good character. So I guess my example is every single student in this room. I really mean it when I say I genuinely thank you for being good people. That is the goal of the final pillar. The NHS as a whole bears the French motto, noblesse oblige, or nobility obligates. This is to say that when you are thrust into a position of achievement, you not only have the power, but the obligation to serve with honor. Today, my friends, we are obliged. We are obliged to live by the virtues these candles represent, to extend the arms of our service, to become beacons of leadership, to go above the call of scholarship, and to hold not only ourselves, but each other to a higher standard of character. The moment you walk across the stage, you are obliged to shine bright so the world can see your greatness. We are brothers and sisters in honor. We are a nation brought together by the virtue we stand for. That is why we are here tonight. And that is the core of the National Honor Society. And so I congratulate every inductee here tonight I appreciate the work you have put in to be here, and I thank you for listening to my speech. God bless.